Okay, no need for the intros. It's your Captain Pirate D Guy, Pirate Guy. We're gonna come and just me as Captain. We're gonna get right into the spoilers. I'll give you a little warning here, a little trigger warning. We are reaching spoiler zone. So if you don't want to get spoiled and you're not caught up in the JJK manga or anime only, don't watch this. And also, 98% of you guys that watch my videos aren't subscribed. That really hurts my feelings. Please subscribe. It's free. It costs nothing. It really goes a long way. Anyway, now last chapter. We saw Gojo get packed up. We saw him die, get packed up, put it into the blender. Rip my boy. May he be missed. God rest his soul. But anyway, Kashimo doesn't care about any of that. He pulls up onto the scene, and the first leak we got here says, as Kashimo enters the scene, one more player joins the battlefield, standing afloat on a massive lump of ice. And for those who don't know, that it's Umare. Sukuna is like right hand man, basically. In the next chapter next page we get, it says it's none other than Ice Star Umare, but someone else has also seemed to have arrived, and you're probably wondering, who is that someone else? Well, it's the boy Kenji Hikari. Hikari Kenji challenges Umare. He says he made a promise, so he can't let Umare live. Hikari opens the domain and Umare activates ice formation against him. Now I'm assuming that the promise is that he made a promise to make sure that no one interferes the fight between Kashimo and Sukuna. So I guess he's gonna just try to do his best to fulfill on that promise. Now, despite Hikari putting up his domain expansion and capturing Umare, the block of ice is still falling, but it's slowly evaporating. And Kashimo notices that and uses it as an opportunity to try to attack Sukuna, but Sukuna pulls out a weapon that looks very similar to the weapon that he has in this shot right here, in this cover page for Jujutsu Kaisen volume 2, 3. I think it's 2. I'm not really sure. It might have been 1. It might be 2, 3. I'm not really sure. But anyway, he pulls out this weapon, and it says right here, it's the cursed weapon which Yozuru constructed in exchange for a binding vow of death, cursed tool Kamu Toke. And it has electricity properties to it, because next page it says, but coincidentally, Kashimo's cursed energy has made him resistant to lightness, so this will have to do, well, not lightning, but electricity, so this will have to do something with electricity. And then Kashimo asks Sukuna, did he become the strongest, or was he always born the strongest? Which is kind of like a little play on word with Geto asking Gojo, are you the strongest because you're Gojo Satoru, or are you Gojo Satoru because you are the strongest? And then next page, we get Sukuna responds that he doesn't know because he was an unwanted child. Kashimo asks Sukuna, how did Sukuna interact with others without knowing weakness, or how did he show affection / mercy? Because Kashimo says he couldn't do so. He saw all other humans as a piece of garbage, piece of trash, basically. Okay, and he's basically he's saying how do you fail well, how do you interact with the other Jujutsu sorcerers and stuff like that without showing any kind of compassion, showing that you care and stuff like that. And Kashimo, he's like, man, I don't care. All these other Jujutsu sorcerers, they're not like me. Is basically what Kashimo said. Okay, and Sukuna calls Kashimo extravagant, and says even Gojo was the same. And Sukuna taps his head with the weapon and calls upon Kashimo to fight him. And Kashimo has a very concerned look on his face right now. He looks very concerned. But concerned or not, that doesn't matter, because the beat down, schmeat down begins. Kashimo makes the first move by running up to Sukuna, trying to land a hit on him using his staff, but Sukuna blocks it. Then Sukuna launches an attack of his own, using an electric kind of slash looking attack, with using the cursed weapon. And then he says, good old times, So I'm curious what's that kind of reference to. Maybe it's he's saying good old times, this reminds him the first time he used this weapon before, because again in the cover art we see him have this weapon in his hand, so he's definitely used this before, so he knows how to use his weapon. He knows what this weapon does, which is, I think, interesting. Okay, next page. Kashimo moves back, activates his curse technique, Genju Genju Kohasaku. which can roughly translate to Phantom Beast Amber, which I think is a very hard name. Now, if you think it's gonna do something to Big Boy, Big Daddy Sukuna, well, if yes was on your bingo card, it was. He lands a clean hit on Sukuna. After landing a punch on Sukuna's face, Kashimo loads a breath attack and blasts it at Sukuna. Now, not gonna lie, this shot of his face, he looks disgusting. Not in a cool way. He looks like those plants from like Plants vs Zombie. He looks like Birdo or Birdie. I think it's Birdo from Mario. That's what he looks like right now. And narrator explains that Kashimo's curse technique remakes his body to be able to blast any kind of attack which Kashimo's can make from his cursed energy. And we get this like shot of him, like he looks like from the line, the way how the lines kind of look, it looks like it's fire, but it could be electricity, but it looks like fire. And honestly, the first thing that came to my head when I thought of this was Enel from One Piece. I was like, I don't know, he basically looked like he basically ate a Logia. He ate the Rumble fruit, and now he's a lightning person. Basically, that's what he looks like. Then Kashimo manages to land another punch. His curse technique enhances his agility, and the waves he blasts evaporate anything which gets touched. But Kashimo surpasses human body to make these things happen. Thus, once his curse technique ends, Kashimo's body will break. So this is basically like kind of like think of it like Kaioken, you know, think of it like Kaioken or Gon's like final form, stuff like that. Think of it something like that. They basically he's a curse technique that enhances his abilities, but because it far exceeds like what the human body can handle, after it ends, his body's gonna break down. So yeah, so he's on borrowed time right now. So hopefully he can get some hits in and make it work somehow, hopefully. Now the narrative once again starts to explain that Sukuna had a method of reviving his original body only once without using reverse technique, but Sukuna had to intentionally halt it. I'll repeat it again. Sukuna had a method to reviving his original body only once without using reverse curse technique, but Sukuna had intentionally halted it. Do you know what this means? Do you know what this entails? Do you know what's gonna happen next? The narrator then says, the transformation of reincarnation has been restored, and we get a full shot of Sukuna in his original form. And that's how the chapter ends. Okay. Now, obviously, I'm gonna do like a chapter like review video with like the actual translation and like fully go through. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm moist. I am wet right now. I am Niagara Falls right now. Like, look at Sukuna, bro. Look at him. Some of y'all think, oh, he's ugly, he's hideous, but he looks fucking cool. He looks so fucking cool. He's about to turn up. He's about to go crazy. Oh my god, I love this. And also, throughout the whole, because I've been looking at each like page and stuff like that, and we have not seen Gojo's body at all. We have not seen his body at all. So it's like, he might be done for good. He might be done for good. Who knows? He might be done for good. He might be done for. But yeah, that's gonna be the end for this video. Let me know what you like about this video. Make sure you subscribe, and also let me know in the comment section below. So, do y'all think Kashimo stands a chance? That's the question for the comment section. Do you think Kashimo stands a chance? Type 1 in the chat for yes. 2 in the chat for no, 3 in the chat that Kagurabachi is going to come in and end the whole series. Anyway, this is going to be Captain Pirate D. Pirate signing off.